So as we welcome in 2018 and stare at all the shiny tat that's coming out of CES, most of which will never see the light of day, or even if it does, will never fulfill the promises it's actually made, I thought it might be worth taking a look back at 2017 and my personal 5 top gadgets or tech from 2017. Now these aren't just things that I've been given to review, it's also stuff that I've bought myself and possibly we haven't reviewed at all. And to be honest, I'm cheating a bit with the list because not all of it was originally released in 2017. Some of it has had a re-release or an upgrade of some sort, something that brought it back into my attention in 2017. So without further ado, let's get started. Straight in at number 5 are the Yeelink light strips, which you can see behind me in the video, giving some accent lighting on my shelves there. Now these cost about just less than $30, including shipping, and they're just really great for what they are. I'm a big fan of smart lighting in general, but the Hue light bulbs and light strips are really pricey. The Hue version of a light strip costs around $60. Now there are a lot more third-party integrations with Hue. However, for basic app control, IFTTT and Alexa, the Yeelink light strips do all that just fine, and for half the price. So for places in my house where my needs are not particularly, I don't need that much smart stuff, just the ability to turn it on and off and choose the color from my phone, that sort of thing, I've gone with Yeelink light strips just because they're a lot cheaper. So that's coming in at my number 5. And you can check out our review of that Dave did just by clicking up there. Number 4 is the Oculus Rift. Now, bear with me, I know this was released middle of 2016, however, it didn't get the touch motion controllers until the tail end of 2016, more like January 2017. And it wasn't until a couple of months after that that they actually managed to nail some of the bugs that were really messing with the tracking system. Now, finally, Oculus Rift has pretty much reached an on-par level with Vive, but for a lot cheaper price. At least in mid-sized rooms anyway. For larger tracking spaces, you still want to go with the Vive. But for mid-sized rooms, what most people have, I'd guess, the Oculus Rift is going to work just fine. Now, on top of that, it also had a Summer of Rift price cut, where the price for the bundle, 2 cameras, 2 controllers, and the headset down to $400, which is really good value. And then after that, they extended the sale as a new sort of permanent price cut. So you can right now buy an Oculus Rift with a bunch of games and software all included for $400, which I just think is ludicrously good value. Especially when their main competitor, the Vive, is still selling upwards of $600, plus another $100 if you want to upgrade to the all-in-one headphone head strap thing. Now the truth is, I haven't played a flat 2D game on a monitor in well over 2 years now. When I do play 2D games, it's been inside of a VR headset, just playing on a massive cinema screen. Most recently, I've been putting a lot of time into Fallout 4. You can watch my little preview video up there. However, I should note Fallout 4 doesn't run that well on the Oculus Rift. There are ways to make it run, but it's a bit hacky. You'll need to play around with some third-party software to make the controllers a bit more usable. They're bad enough on the Vive ones as it is, but when you combine that with the thumbsticks rather than the trackpads, is not nice. So if you're wanting to play Fallout 4, go for the Vive. Number 3 is the OnLap 1503i portable touchscreen monitor. Now this was kind of a new product category for me, to be honest. Obviously I've had monitors and I've had tablets, but I've never had a touchscreen monitor that can be added onto any computer and then instantly give you touchscreen abilities. Now when you're carting a computer around to give VR demos and stuff, I found it really useful to not have to carry a keyboard and mouse. You can just use the on-screen keyboard like a tablet. So for things where space is at a premium and you don't want to have to plug in USB devices for your things, the OnLap 1503i touchscreen is really cool. It's also super convenient to plug into a laptop and use it as a second screen, or even give your laptop a touchscreen capability, because it can run purely over USB 3 power. Now it is a bit pricey at about $400 or more if you need to buy some additional mounting kits or different cables and accessories. However, I think the price is definitely worth it if you have the specific use case that it's really great for. It's really well made, it's solid, it's versatile, and I think it's a bit of tech that I'll be keeping around for a very long time. Number 2 is the Samsung SmartThings, well, smart home hub and entire ecosystem of smart home products really. And I gotta be honest, I wasn't really expecting to like this one. I bought the hub in order to write our Getting Started with Samsung SmartThings guide. Now the main criticism of the system is still as true as it ever was. If your internet goes down, then your smart home will pretty much also go down. There are some exceptions, some stuff can run locally, but realistically, when was the last time my internet went down in the last 2-3 years? So I just don't think that's the problem. If the internet does sort of permanently go down because it's the end of the world, I think I'll have bigger problems to worry about than my lights not being able to turn on with my phone. Now, what I really liked about the Samsung SmartThings hub is that it doesn't lock you into the SmartThings ecosystem at all. It comes with a built-in Zigbee and Z-Wave radio chip, meaning it can communicate with the most prolific collection of smart home devices out there. There are literally hundreds of third-party accessories, third-party sensors and things that it will work with, as well as all the usual Wi-Fi things like Philips Hue, Alexa, and all the sort of stuff you'd expect. Now, the only exception has been these Yeelight strips, actually, but since the Yeelight strips support IFTTT and so does SmartThings, I was able to hook them in that way. So like I said, it's a really versatile system that will pretty much work with anything, and that wasn't really something I was expecting. I had previously been running OpenHab, which is a open source smart home system that runs on the Raspberry Pi, or any Linux computer really. And while it was pretty reliable for me, I really found the automation programming to be far too complex. And with SmartThings, it's so much simpler. They have different apps for various automations, and pretty much anything I've been able to think of that I want automated has been possible with one of the SmartThings apps. It's great, it's user-friendly, works with Alexa for voice control. Don't know what else I can say about it really. The only downside is, once you've got it, you'll probably find yourself wanting to replace all your lighting with smart bulbs, all your switches, all that kind of stuff, so you'll be spending quite a lot more. My number one gadget of 2017 has got to be my 3D printer. Now this is something I didn't actually review, just something that I bought. It cost me around £900, so it's definitely on the upper end of anyone's budget. And this is the original Prusa i3 Mark II. Now the guy who creates these, Joseph Prusa, is basically the guy who sort of kick-started the entire 3D printing at home revolution that we've had in the last couple of years. He created the core open source RepRap design, which was so popular and has gone on to spawn so many clones. However, of course, being the designer, the one that he's designed himself is the best, the most reliable. Now, it's just an incredible feeling to have a 3D printer that I don't have to keep stressing over. In the past, models that I've played with, reviewed, they've always been restricted to either very small models or they've been constantly getting filament jams, that sort of thing. There's always been something that makes it completely not user-friendly. Now, so far in a year of owning the original Prusa i3, I've had no problems at all. Or at least any problems that I have had have been down to my error rather than the machine. And that's great because it's a learning process that I can actually get on top of. I can fix my own mistakes. I can't fix anything fundamentally wrong with the printer. So since I've been able to just stop worrying about the printer itself and just get on with the printing, I've been able to be a lot more creative in what I'm printing and what I'm doing with it. From little gaming accessories to a 3D printed Catan set to cable clips and other useful stuff for around the house, I've just printed it and it's worked. Now 900 quid probably does sound like a lot, but it's actually done a lot better than some of the more expensive $1,500, $2,000 machines that I've tried. If you are looking at getting into 3D printing and don't want to spend that kind of money, which I'm not suggesting you do at all, check out our 3D printer buying guide linked in the description. And if you're in the US, look up the Maker Select Mini. That's a really good starter model. Less than $300, you won't regret it. So anyway, thanks for watching. That's my top tech of 2017. Again, not all of it was released in 2017. I don't care. Argue with me in the comments if you really want. It was stuff that came into my life in 2017. Now we've got an exciting 2018 coming up ahead. Lots of new VR headsets being released that I can't wait to review and check out. If you like this video, please subscribe. We do 2 giveaways a week, as well as the occasional non-giveaway review thing like this, DIY tech tutorials, Windows tips, Android tips, all that kind of good stuff. Anyway, let me know in the comments what you thought of my list. Do you disagree with it? Do you agree with it? What was your favorite tech of 2017? Head down to the comments, let's talk about it. Thanks for watching, and until next time, you've been watching MakeUseOf.com TV with me, James Bruce.